Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your girl Tia Morel, and I am super excited to continue this journey with you guys. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that all being said, let's get started.
I just want you to see this is me. So please accept me for who I am. And please accept me for what I do. I'm just doing everything that I can. Cause all I wanna be is true.
Hey you guys. So, if you guys didn't see my previous video was pretty much giving you guys an insight to why I chose this platform and why I decided to create a YouTube channel and bring my story here on YouTube. I'm grateful for those of you who had tuned in and liked and subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I just pretty much wanted to come on here today and emphasize more on some of the points I made in the first video. And the main thing I want to emphasize on is family and the love my family had for God. So if you recall from the first video, I mentioned the fact that I came from a two-parent household, and that the household that I was in was a God-fearing household. And so God was always at the forefront of everything, no matter what. It was always God and then family. That's all we knew when we was little. God and family. And then I think somehow when we kind of got to an age where we could kind of put pieces together because of the area, like I said, the area we lived in was not really an area to pretty much, raise a child if you don't want them to get influenced. And like I said, I don't know what it was that made my parents decide to move us in that area, because the influence that we did get and influence that we gained from being there definitely was something I'm pretty sure they regret. But like I said, both my parents are not here, unfortunately. They're definitely, in heaven with God, and, so. But with that, I just want to say that I don't regret the life I had, because there are so many people out here that would have loved to have the parents that I had and who would have loved to have the life that I had. But for some reason, we didn't love it. We love it to a certain extent. We loved it because of the family aspect of it. But when it came to the God aspect of it, it was very pressured. It's like my mom, my dad, he had a little faith. He loved God, and but he just wasn't a strong soldier like my mom. Like I said, my mom was a strong soldier. Honey, God was before any and everything, and she made that known. And so we were always kind of taught, without it being verbally presented to us, that God's first and family second. It just was pretty much done in action. We definitely knew how important God was in our life, and we knew how important family was. Now, I know a lot of people don't really look at family because based off the family that you have. And like I tell you, it's not easy, because growing up, we definitely had it good experiences. I just think now in the adult age, you kind of, have some issues. I'm not going to say that my family is a perfect family, especially now. One point we was close to being perfect, but now we're juggling right now. Like I said, we all had to find our own way with things and figure things out. And I think what happened was, by us being introduced to God at a young age, and then family, and then the love for family at a young age too, we was never introduced to the streets. Like, we never was really too much informed about the streets. It was just something that you don't want, like I said in the last video, it was just more like, don't do this, don't do that, stay away from this, stay away from that, without actually giving full details. And so it was pretty much strict. like I said, my mom, she put a lot of pressure on us, like because of her position in church. And I think that she wanted to be at the highest, like, level of excellence in her position. And she pretty much took it out on us, like, because we had to be on the same level as well too. Like when it came to plays, we had to know. I mean, my mom did one thing I could say my mom instilled in us was perfection, honey. Like we could not leave the house. We could not do anything, go outside and play until we got either a scripture down pat, our lines down pat, like whatever it was, we have to have it down pat before we do anything. I don't care if we got cousins over. I don't care. Friends outside calling us to come out or want us to come out. If we ain't got them scriptures down, memorized, and knowing word for word verbatim, or we don't know our lines from poems or plays or whatever that we have to partake in, there's nothing else to do but sit there and figure it out and constantly look at them same lines until you get it right. But it was, and I think sometimes in a certain way, it's like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because even though the pressure was put on us, um, it kind of was like, but I don't even think my mom even knew that she was putting the pressure on us. I think it's because the love that she had for God, that she wanted everything to be great for him. Whatever was being presented for him, whatever was being done for God, she wanted to be great and perfect because he only deserved the best. He deserved perfection. And that's pretty much how things had to come off. And so it was hard. It was hard. It was very, very hard. Like, and then it was kind of looked upon for us like as strict, like as just like a prison, like, and it really wasn't, but that's how we took it because like when you kind of have the kids around you that really don't have the type of household that you have, they may have a good household, but it may not be like our household where the parents are super grounded, by faith and stuff. And so they out there doing their things. And so it's like we're looking like they're being mean. They're keeping us as prisoners. They don't want us to go outside and play. So we was too busy wanting to play instead of getting to know God because playing just seems so much fun and so much better. I mean, let's just keep it real for young kids. That's what seems fun and better because of what you do experience when you are in that moment having fun and stuff. And so, yeah, it was hard, but God, like I said, was always first and then family, because when it came to family, we definitely knew what love was. We knew what it was to have a family that loved each other because we had that. Like my mom and her siblings with their kids, they made sure that we had a bond. Especially, we don't have that same bond now. I'm not gonna lie, we don't have the same bond now, but we was little. We definitely had a good bond. Like, I mean, everybody knew everybody kids. I mean, I don't care, like, if we had to travel to Louisiana, 'cause that's where my mom actually is from Louisiana. So that's pretty much where we spent time. And a couple times, my dad from Portland, before my grandma passed, we'll go to Portland, but just before she moved with us. But anyways, but Louisiana, that's where we pretty much lived for the summers and everything. So, but we had this bond with all of our cousins, and then it's like cousins, and their in-law. Like it was just a big, and it's like, and then people that wasn't even family became that was just close with us became family, and then my mom and everybody just took everybody in, and then everybody just gravitated to our family and partook in things that we did, our trips, our vacations. Like we always went camping. Like we did so much stuff, and in some way, somehow down the line we lost that, and that's a whole nother thing. But we lost it in our adulthood, just like we lost our love for God. And we pretty much lost our love for God by the decisions we decided to make, and the way we felt for those decisions was so overpowering that we pretty much put the streets to the forefront. So our order was, once we got introduced to the streets and the thrills and the excitement and the craziness and the destruction and the of the streets, for some reason, it just seems so entertaining to us. And so it's like, and then eventually street became first, family, and then God. That's the order we had. My mom and them had a different order. That's the order we had. So that's how it kind of became confusing. And I think even with me growing up into my adult age, I still have that confusion. Even it's not even like a confusion now in the present time, but it's almost still like a confusion where it's like, okay, I know right from wrong, but wrong just seems so good and right just seems so uninteresting. Like let's just keep it real. It seems so uninteresting, but the greatest gift that you give for the right is the love and the mercy God gives you, the blessings He gives you. And like I said, it is hard because, like I said, sometimes you have to distance yourself from certain things. You have to find some sort of middle ground. And I know a lot of people that's in church are still partake in things that's of the world and stuff, but go to church faithfully. Probably read their Bible, probably still partake in everything that we partake in, but still live the world. So I think everybody have a confusion, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you really for God, there's a lot of things that you have to pretty much distance yourself from. And that's the way of the world. And that's just the ungodliness of the world. Me, like I said, it's hard. I'm a work in progress. I've been having ungodly life for a long time. So just to kind of turn around and shift like this is not happening. Sorry. Like, not saying it in sense, I mean, I love God, and I'm thankful for Him for everything, but I'm a work in progress. I'm just, I'm like, just wean me in slowly, God, wean me in slowly. I'm gonna come, just wean me in slowly. I may have some little jerks going in the process, but hey, we'll figure it out and stuff. So, but yeah, it was very, very strict. But I thank my mom for the strictness. My dad, he was a little strict too, but my mom was the one that was just super strict. My dad, he pretty much was, oh my God, I was a daddy's girl. So my dad pretty much gave me anything that I wanted. He pretty much, like, I can do no wrong in his eyes, but my mama, no, she seen the wrong, but my daddy, no. And they, like I said, both rest in peace. And when my dad passed, oh my God, that's a whole nother story too. That's when destruction was full force. That's when I got heavy into darkness and lived oh my God, how would I say this with the life I live? It was very, I'm not gonna say, I wish I could find a word, but I can't find a word that I'm looking for type of life. It was one of those, it's like the word I'm looking for is something like living, like, living on the edge type of word. Like, when you kind of just taking risks. Like, I took a lot of risks and didn't even care in the risks I was taking. Like, I put myself in positions where I should have been raped. I should have been kidnapped. I should have been passed out on the street. I should have overdosed. I mean, I put myself in a lot of positions, but for some reason, God didn't allow that to happen. That's going to be stories to tell down the line too, because like I said, I done a lot. And like I said, a lot of things went in this body. I had a lot of fleshly experience and stuff. And yeah, I'm definitely not that type of person that my mom and dad raised me to be. And I think now I'm in that process of just trying to slowly get back to that person that they was looking for me to be. Now, I can't guarantee it what my other siblings are. Well, I say sibling, but siblings, I told you, sister, cousin, brother, cousin. Oh, wait, no, I didn't tell you guys. So real quick about the household. Okay. So, it wasn't just me and my mom and my brother and my dad. It was also my mom's sisters, two sisters, one of her sisters, two kids, which I call, my sister cousin and my brother cousin, because we all pretty much grew up from little to now. My dad's mom, my grandma, and yeah, and it was like a 3-bedroom house, but pretty much a 2-bedroom with an attic that was kind of big that we transformed into a room. for the remaining people who didn't have the, which my mom and dad was in one, and then my grandma was in the other. So do the math. Everybody else upstairs, we had bunk beds and everything. So, anyways, it was a full house, and so I think that was our first look into the love my mom and dad have for family, because of the fact that they took people in, and even people that wasn't family that just was close to us. My mom took in over a course of time, and I think that was just something that we seen. But then I think even though we seen it, the love that my mom have and the effort they will put in, the how they'll go above beyond, like the same effort my mom will put in to God, she put in for the family. But of course, God was always first. And I don't think, even though it was shown to us, we still didn't get the for the, like, the just putting everything for friend, like I said, because street became first. And so because street became first, we loved our family. Well, let me just speak for me. I love my family and everything, but I don't think that I would do half the things my parents did, in terms of just, they would spend their own money for things. Like whenever we had big dinners and parties and everything for like the holidays, and it wasn't like partying like no, it was party like, you know just a wholesome family getting together. But it was fun, because of course the cousins, we definitely didn't, we wasn't wholesome, but we made it fun outside of the wholesome family. But anyways, my mom and dad supplied everything when it came to coming to their house, our household. I mean, everything. It was like they looked for nobody to bring nothing. They paid for everything, like, and I'm like, oh, we having potluck? Who bringing what? Because let me tell you what I'm not gonna do, and BYOB. If you know what that means, you know what that means. But nope, they'll have the soda, everything, drinks. You don't have to bring nothing. If you want to bring something, that's on you. Feel free. But that was them and stuff. So, but yeah, it was a good childhood, but a crazy experience because of what we was faced with the area that we was in. And even our church was in Compton. And so our church being in Compton, we were surrounded. It was like in a hood part of Compton. So not only where we stay, we kind of have a surrounding of the hood, or being kind of in the hood. Now we go to church. Our church is in the hood. So what do you want from us? Like, what are you guys doing? No, but and so it was like they would tell us, no, don't do this or that. But it's so funny because for some reason their eagerness to try to keep us from the wrong drove us even more to it. It was like they were saying no, our mind was saying yes, but our heart still knew that we was doing wrong. Because even when we did wrong, we knew we was doing wrong. We would just hope and pray we didn't get caught. Because one thing I can say about my mom and dad, oh, they was whoopers, honey. They would get any and everything and tap that, yeah. Yeah, like they don't care, and they was whoopers, and we definitely, me and my brother, especially my brother, but me and my brother, my cousin, not my female cousin, sister cousin, not so much. She used to get her little bit, and then my brother cousin, yeah, but my brother, whew, and then but me too, but mainly, but yeah. Anyways, they was whoopers, and we stayed getting whooped, stay getting punishment, stay getting grounded, just stay, because honey, we just couldn't stay away. And like I said, I don't regret some of the things I did, because I feel like like I said, it's leading me here in this moment. Like, it was something that, I can't regret, because He planned it for me. He established it for me and stuff. And then I guess it was something that I needed, because it's like, even though the inner battles that I have and not feeling strong enough, because I had identity issues. And so, oh my God, so much stuff to tackle with me in the beginning years. So I had identity issues. So I used to think that I was white because I was kind of light. Well, I was lighter than what I am now, I believe. And so I had identity issues. I was like, I thought I was white because, back then, white privilege is just like, and just white was just right. in my eyes. And so when people used to tell me I'm black, I used to cry. Like, no, I'm white. Like, mom, tell me I'm white, I'm white. But, of course, she's like, girl, you black. If my mom would cuss, she'd be like, girl, sit your ass down somewhere, you're black. But, and then just, even with just, outer beauty and outer appearance, that always was the issue, even though I never sometimes showed it. Because, honey, there was times I lived in confidence, but there was time when I was actually in confidence and really was. But, in certain point of my life, teenage life, I had a confident persona. I presented myself in a confident way, but deep down inside, I was having identity crisis or outward appearance crisis, especially, we go to certain high schools, middle schools, you have the cute girls, and then you see the girls that the guys are talking about dudes, and, we into dudes and stuff and everything. So it's like, you hear the stuff, and it's like, and then you feel like, damn, I don't like that girl. Why can't I like this girl? It's like, damn, I wish I was popular. But, even though, I had a good high school, middle school, even though my mom, like I said, didn't allow us to go to certain schools. I mean, the elementary. Oh, one thing I need to say. So when I said the schools, the only school that my mom and them allowed us to go to in our area was our elementary school. Our elementary school, Star King, she let us go to, because we literally walked there, because it was that close. Like, it was like a minute away and stuff. So, but other than that, that was it. And that was, that was a great experience. Even as little kids, we was just so bad. But anyways, yeah, I think God, though, that's all I could say. I could just pause in this moment and say, I thank God for a praying mother, a praying family, because, honey, I definitely should not be sitting here with you guys telling my story, because I definitely took a whole lot of risks in life. And my sister cousin did too. We took some risks, honey, from hopping in cars, people we don't know. I mean, just catching buses late at night, going to people's houses, sneaking out the house, like going in the areas of the hoods of the dudes we talking to that's gang members, and all late at night with little short dresses on and skirts. And, first of all, my mom and them did not buy us, so you know how we got it. If they didn't buy it for us, what's the other option? Yeah. So, anyways, that's a whole nother story. And it's like, man, God, thank you, because, honey, when I hear the stories of stuff now, when you see the stories of teenagers and kids now, it's like, oh my God, thank you, God, because some of the stuff you hear, that how they got caught, caught up and stuff like that. He's like, damn, we did that. We put ourselves in that position. We used to walk down dark alleys. I used to be by myself walking in alleys and late at night and sneaking out that, and, hopping in cars with random people. And, so like I said, family, a praying family definitely saved me. My brother, that's a whole nother story too. I'll let him tell his own story. It's a lot. And so I think the lesson that I got, in my early childhood is that in order to achieve the things you want, you have to work hard for it. And you have to believe and trust in God and put Him first in everything that you do. And He will lead and He will guide you and He will steer you in the right. If you just allow Him, and then if you just patiently wait on Him, because I was impatient. That's one thing about me. I was an impatient child, and I'm still kind of impatient, and I'm working on that. Like, I'm slowly getting to have a little patience, but my patience level at one point, for things that I wanted was very, 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 like, I wanted, not at any means. If I got to get it this way to just get it, if I had to, degrade myself, if I had to put myself in a risky position to go to jail or whatever, I would at any means necessary to get it. I was impatient and didn't want to wait to see, and it was crazy because I was definitely a scholar in school. I was a straight A student, A's and B's and everything, but still through it all, by being a scholar and A's and B's and all that, I still lived crazy. I still would ditch school and, whew, and still maintain good grades because, like I said, because of what my mom and dad instilled in me, regardless if I did wrong, part of me still knew the right part. And it's like, okay, because I know the right part, what my mom and dad instilled in us and and how they want us to be, I still have to be that person. And then at the same time, be this other person that I allowed myself to be, that I enjoyed being, and try to clash both worlds together to make it. Yeah, and you can't do it. It's impossible. But I was trying, and it was just, and I had a lot of mental issues too, even in my younger years. Like I said, with the identity crisis and just the outer appearance, um, um, issues and everything. So I think demons always lived in my head, and I don't know how that even is. I can't even explain all that, but it's like they always lived in my head because I always had crazy thoughts. I always felt like I was worthless, like I wasn't worth being here, like I wasn't good enough. Like regardless of what my parents said, or the life I have, or like having a 2-parent household, like I still felt empty. And even though I was taught to pray and pray when I, feel those ways, and it's just like it's still. And I don't know if that was just the devil, just getting in me or allowed in me or just being part of me, and was just eating me up, like, trying to destroy me. And he almost did. And that's a whole nother subject. But feel free, like I always say, to drop in the comments any kind of scriptures, any kind of, you know, words, or like I said, or even just things that you're battling, or what as I tell my story. I'm also looking for you guys because, like I said, we're on this journey together. Because I'm telling my story, but I'm on a journey, and I all feel like I've always been on a journey from the time I was young to now. Like always, just been on a journey, and now I'm just trying to get back on the right journey. I steered. And I keep steering, and I go down bumpy roads and all sorts of stuff. So like I said, I'm in my 40s, and I never told my age, but I am in my 40s, and I'm just now kind of getting right back, to try to get back to the right side of the road. So anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate it. But like always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, spread the word. If there's some topics that based off my story that you want me to emphasize more on, of what I experienced or thoughts, if I can, actually be of help. But like I said, look to God for everything though. But anyways, with that being said, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Until next time, this is me.